I think everybody knows at this point that Warzone 2.0 is not in a good spot. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, let's talk about why Warzone 2 is dying, why many top content creators cannot stand this game anymore. Many people are threatening to quit. You know, some of the highest tier content creators and players that you've probably heard of are threatening to quit because of many issues, the biggest obviously being hackers. Charlie Intel, a popular Twitter account regarding Call of Duty, recently tweeted something out. I'm going to post it on screen and then talk about each bullet point because I think this is very important for a video, and I want to talk about the potential death, and the, I guess, forthcoming of this death of Warzone, because if Warzone is going to keep up as it is right now, it is not going to survive very long at all. Quick note before I jump into it, if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy this style of video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Okay, I really appreciate that. Let's get into it. The first thing Warzone 2.0 needs is a working anti-cheat. As you guys know, Black Ops 6 ranked play has been infested with cheaters, okay? If you're anywhere above, I would say, Diamond or Platinum even, like, you're probably going to run into cheaters at some point in your COD career. You don't need to be a brain scientist to know that this is obviously not fun to play against, okay? What is the point of grinding day in and day out just to run into a team of cheaters, just to run into a team with walls or aim hacks or anything like that? There's no point in that, right? You're just messing around. You're just wasting your time, essentially. For this reason alone, many top content creators who, you know, mainly just play ranked, even pros, don't really feel like playing this game, and it's for good reason, because again, they're wasting their own time. Now this problem has moved on to Warzone, because Warzone ranked play is coming out soon, and with ranked play, more and more people are going to tend to cheat. More and more people are going to tend to want to get better and, you know, get the main reward without putting in that extra work. What can Call of Duty do? Well, they actually did tweet out about the kernel level drivers and new server side protections coming in Season 2 and 3. And I'm going to read it out real quick for you guys. But I do want to mention Season 2 and Season 3, why are we waiting so long for this? This is coming far too late. And the sad part is that this is not some small dev team that is struggling with people and manpower and server engines and stuff like that. No, this is a fully AAA Activision / Microsoft studio who's been doing Call of Duty games, and Warzone is not a new game, okay? Warzone came out in 2019 and Call of Duty came out in 2006, and the fact that we're still having these server issues, these hacking problems, is a disgrace to the franchise, and it is no surprise as to why this game is falling off. Views are falling off. When you look across Call of Duty YouTube or Call of Duty Twitch, many people are not tuning in anymore. Many people are not subscribing anymore, and it's because the views, the interest is at an all-time low. If you check out Steam charts for Call of Duty, it is dropping like flies. But anyway, let's get back on track here. Charlie Intel, and I believe Call of Duty, originally tweeted, "Looking forward, the team is developing major updates for Ricochet anti-cheat systems, including our kernel level driver and brand new server-side protections, launching during Season 2 and Season 3. More on these updates as we get closer to these season launches." While we continue in our effort, a reminder that there are steps you can take to partner with us in the fight against cheaters, including ensuring your account is two-factor enabled. The things you work so hard to earn, ranked play status, camos, are attractive targets to cheaters who want nice things but don't like to put in the work. And as always, please report cheaters you see in-game. We use these reports in our investigation into new and emerging cheats, and we appreciate your efforts to raise these flags for us. The Ricochet anti-cheat team will be continuing its work to fight cheaters throughout the remainder of the month. While we have made progress, we know more needs to be done, and we're eager to share details of our planned major updates coming in the new year. This sounds all fine and dandy, to be honest with you guys, but I think the main problem here, and this is something that we can all, you know, if you've played in the Call of Duty series at any point in your life, this is something that you guys know. Call of Duty has always said this. This is nothing new, okay? We are always hearing the fact that they're working on cheaters, that they're banning accounts. I think just a couple of weeks ago they said that they banned 19,000 ranked play cheaters, and I believe nobody believes this, right? I made a video on this back then, but basically I pointed out, like, yeah, if Call of Duty is actually banning 19,000 accounts, then why is the top 250 still filled with cheaters? Why are there so many people still on that list that, you know, are prime easy targets for Activision to just ban? Why are they still playing? Why are they still on? Why do they still have their account, right? It makes no sense. How are you going to ban 19,000 but miss people on the top 250? It just doesn't add up, and it makes people think that you're not actually going through, you're just spewing out nonsense and random numbers just to appease the COD community because you think we're dumber than a pile of bricks. We can get into some of the hate that content creators are talking about, because I'll talk about that kind of at the end of the video. I do find that very interesting, particularly one creator in particular. But yeah, again, we'll talk about him at the very end. The next thing Charlie Intel said was to stop resetting quality of life features every single year. Now, this is actually something I also agree with. The fact that when you compare this game, this battle royale, to Fortnite or Apex Legends, in games like Fortnite, you never have to deal with resetting quality of life, right? The movement becomes different, the aiming mechanics become different, sometimes your sensitivity gets reset. So many things are quote unquote reset or changed because they don't use the same system year in and year out, right? They don't do anything. Every year the guns are different. Every year the map is different. The mechanics are different, right? We didn't have Omni movement last year. And so because of this, it creates this huge variability where casual players are not going to want to learn all this stuff every single year, every single time they touch Warzone, right? Many people play Warzone for a little bit and then they just drop it and play something else. And by the time they come back because a new Call of Duty drops, right? How many of them are super interested in learning, oh, I have to know what Omni movement is. I have to learn this new map. I have to level up all these guns. Many people are not interested in that. Like, only your hardcore Call of Duty fan base is like really interested in that. I can't think of many other people who are casual about Call of Duty, but when they come back, all they do is grind Call of Duty for another like 3 to 4 months, get all their camos, get all their guns, and then just drop it again and want to do that over and over again. It doesn't make for a good system unless Call of Duty is the only game you play. And honestly, with how big the game files are between multiplayer and Warzone, and I guess zombies if you want to play that too, not to mention campaign too if you want to try that, Call of Duty really doesn't leave much storage space for you in your PC or in your Xbox or PlayStation. They don't give you that many opportunities or that much room to even experiment with another game. They really just want to monopolize your hard drive, which is, I guess, smart from a business perspective, but annoying when it comes to, the gamer's perspective. Another thing they mention is to allow for big map rotations, which essentially means people want Verdansk back. People want bigger maps that are not just one map the entire time, because chances are that one map is generally not pretty good. I don't know if you've played Black Ops 6 multiplayer or Call of Duty multiplayers recently. A lot of the map pool is not very impressive. A lot of the maps don't wow the community anymore. Many times these days, the community is more fed up with the maps than excited about the maps. I think that's a sad statement, but it is what it is. These developers have lost their touch. Maybe they're just, overworked and, they really can't do anything anymore. Maybe they just run out of ideas, or maybe they just don't have enough time to make certain, maps or certain things as good as they once did. The next piece of advice Charlie Intel has for Warzone is to have consistent releases and content for both Big Map and Resurgence. This is important. I think this is a no-brainer, right? Sometimes when you're playing the same game over and over again, it can feel quite boring. It can feel quite delayed and quite samey, right? It'll feel like the exact same game over and over again, especially if you're playing with the same friends on the same map, right? Because chances are when you're loading up into Warzone, because of how long it takes and everything like that, you're not playing for like 1 or 2 games. You're probably playing for like an hour or 2-hour session. And the problem with that is that there's nothing really keeping you incentivized. Because Warzone and Resurgence in a nutshell is very repetitive, because, well, let's face it, it is. And also it's very random. It doesn't make for a very engaging experience for such a long time, right? Only sometimes does it make for an engaging experience, but yeah, generally, you're not going to be glued to it unless you're constantly winning. But also, with the fact that there's so many cheaters out there, you're probably not winning all that much, unless you're cheating yourself, I guess. Another thing Charlie Intel mentions here is to rebalance aim assist and keyboard and mouse. I think that this is a severe issue when it comes to aiming, when it comes to controller versus keyboard and mouse, right? People don't like the feeling of getting robbed. Personally, when I'm on keyboard and mouse, I think it's near impossible to kill someone who's up close when they have a controller. Like, if I'm running into a room and someone's like camping in a corner, I'm pretty much dead. There's no chance I have of snapping on them because I'm not some kind of keyboard movement god. But when it comes to controller players, not to start a controversy in the comment section, but I think that you can afford to be not as good on controller compared to not as good on keyboard and mouse. When it comes to up close engagements, I think from a distance it's relatively all right. The aim assist helps keep the controller people on track. Some would say it's even too strong. I don't know. I'm not trying to start any debates here, but I think there needs to be some kind of rework done. And I know that in Black Ops 6 multiplayer, there was some rework done recently, so I will give him props for that. I will give him credit, but I'm not entirely sure if it was done on the Warzone side too, because I'm highly doubting that. Again, I don't really keep up with the Warzone news that much as I'm supposed to, because I don't tend to play Warzone. You can't really blame me, with all the cheaters running amok, with the servers being terrible, tick rates, hit detection, all that stuff, audio, not great stuff. And speaking of audio, let's get into it. The next thing Charlie Intel mentions is to fix the audio issues. There are severe audio issues plaguing Call of Duty Warzone right now. That is not good. We can't tell where footsteps are coming from. Certain sounds are way too loud. Certain sounds are way too quiet. You'd think with 4 years of development time that they would probably nail something like as simple as the audio, but again, maybe not. Maybe we're hoping for too much out here. And last thing is just better servers, right? This is against desync or quote unquote skill-based damage. We want better hit detection. We want the game to just feel fair, right? We don't want packet burst, packet loss out of our asses. We want this game to feel fair. When we shoot someone, we expect them to die. When we land somewhere, we expect to land smoothly and not just all bumpy and everything like that. It doesn't make for a great experience at times, and nobody wants to play that game. Nobody wants to play it if it's going to be this rough. I wanted to get into FaZe Swag because he's a content creator that I used to watch a good amount, and it looks like even this dude whose main job, he's made a career playing this game, is fed up. I'm just going to read off a couple of his tweets because I find it very, very interesting. But he says, "Can't even play the game I love because hackers are ending the lobbies and it's holiday break." Essentially what he's saying is that hackers now have the option to, I guess, like quote unquote DDoS either the lobby or the people, right? If you kill a hacker, something like that, he can have the ability to just end the lobby. That's ridiculous. How little of an anti-cheat do you have to where a hacker can press a button on his keyboard and ruin the experience of the other, 79 people? I don't know how many people are on a Warzone map anymore. It's embarrassing. I don't know how that is even a thing. He goes on later, "Think about this blank. I played hackers all day, that's bad enough. But when we kill the hackers, they get mad and press a effing button to crash the whole lobby. How is this not embarrassing?" He posted this 9 hours ago at the time of making this video, 272,000 views. That's a lot of people who are seeing this, seeing a top Warzone creator, someone who plays this game for a living, day in and day out, complain about the game, calling it embarrassing, calling it terrible. In response to Charlie Intel's tweet about the latest kernel level updates, he goes, "Season 2, 45 days? I promise you the game will be dead by then. If that's the case, I don't even want to play." Which is a fair statement, right? If you're thinking about it, who wants to wait 45 days? That's over a month for them to fix something that should have not even been an issue when the game launched. You are delusional if you think you're okay with that. And, I'm sure that there's going to be many people in the comments or many people in other people's comments who are mentioning that these devs need a break or these devs working hard or it's the Christmas season. To be honest with you guys, it don't matter. If your game is broken, if your thing is busted, and you're losing players at an alarming rate, I think your first priority has got to be to fix this, right? It has to be. You're losing your top dog FaZe Swag. I've seen Modern Warzone, Charlie Intel just talk smack about Call of Duty Warzone right now. Nobody is feeling happy. Nobody is excited. And again, like I said, views are in the toilet. If your views are in the toilet, guess what? The casual fan base don't care. Content creators are less inspired. It's just a huge middle finger from the community to get your stuff together. If you're Activision, if you're Microsoft watching this video and listening to FaZe Swag and all these other content creators, and even seeing people like Charlie Intel and Modern Warzone tweet negative stuff about your game, Call of Duty Warzone, I think it's time to get it together. I think Season 2, Season 3 is way too late. You need to issue out a thing by the end of the year, literally within a week or two. You need to launch this server-side protection. I don't even know how you launch the game without server-side protection. The fact that someone can crash the game from home is crazy, right? Think about it. That's insane. I think one of the main issues why you need to stop playing Warzone 2.0 right now is because what is the point, right? What is the point? You play in these games, like Swag says, you get into hackers when you're in the high tier lobbies, and then even if you kill one of them, your game just ends. And if you're in the lower tier lobbies, guess what? When you get good enough, you're probably going to start running into this issue. So it's like, it might not even be affecting you right now, but like, trust me, it's going to affect you at some point. You're going to run into hackers. You're going to run into these annoying scumbags. I don't even know if I'm going to get hate for saying this or not, but I can't even blame the hackers necessarily because the company is letting them do this. If they were serious about taking out hackers or removing, these issues, they would have done it. But I think they're just skating by because they can, because XDefiant shut down, because what are people going to play? Fortnite? I mean, like, I know Fortnite's another shooter, another big thing right now, but many Call of Duty players are just locked into Call of Duty. They only play Call of Duty. And honestly, I'm not an exception. I that's one of the main games that I play, yes. But I see, even on Twitch, like people like Tim the Tatman playing these games like Marvel Rivals, Ranked, and stuff like that. People are moving on. They are not just set on Call of Duty anymore. And I think Call of Duty needs to wake up and recognize that, okay? Recognize that your game is not the only game to play. Yes, XDefiant got shut down. Some other games are not getting updates as often as Call of Duty maybe, but other games are good. There's single-player games out there. There's games that people are discovering because Call of Duty is just falling off, right? Think about it like this. If Call of Duty was so good over and over every single year, there wouldn't be a need for people to leave the franchise. But I think with the numbers dwindling on Steam and Black Ops 6 not being as good as it probably should have been, people are leaving and people are very okay with that. And so I want to leave it to Call of Duty. I want to leave it to Activision for responses. I'm hoping that these videos that I make, that other content creators make, and people tweet about can actually make a difference, because I don't want to see Call of Duty go away. I don't want to see Call of Duty be a shell of itself where no updates are made and nobody feels like playing. I don't like that, okay? I like Call of Duty, and again, I want to see Call of Duty succeed, as much as it might seem like I don't. But I did want to make this video highlighting that Warzone has a serious problem and it needs addressing, okay? It really does. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, if you made it all the way this far, consider leaving a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Put a lot of work into this video in particular, and I'd appreciate any support. Likes, shares, comments. Let me know if you're still playing Warzone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.